one at the back.
Yeah, one Mixer streamer back there. Yeah. We appreciate you.
That's the one Mixer streamer that's still left.
Yeah. So
it was them and Ninja.
So yeah, when Mixer shut down, much like all the streamers on the platform, Mix It Up moved over to Twitch, and they've been going strength to strength since then. Their Discord is super active, and they've got the most incredible support channel, which they answer like within hours sometimes.
The dev team's phenomenal.
Yeah. They're a bit short when they reply to you, probably because they're replying to 10 other people at the same time, so forgive them. But the information's good, so who cares?
It is important if you're going to use these programs, get involved in the Discord. They do answer questions, like things that you need to know.
Yeah.
And they take their feedback on as well.
Yeah.
So like providing active feedback to things that you're working on and that may not be working, or getting them to help. It all goes on board and goes into improving these programs. So
yeah, the number of times we've submitted things like saying, hey, this weird thing happens when I click this, and like the next build it's fixed.
Yeah.
It's crazy, yeah.
It's good.
Last mention is, hold on. StreamerBot. So StreamerBot is phenomenal. The interface is a little bit Windows 95, but it's extremely capable.
That's fashionable right now.
Yeah, it's in.
It's
retro is
retro.
in.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Ooh,
okay.
there you go. Yeah.
Fresh info.
Fresh info right then. Excellent.
StreamerBot is really fantastic. The learning curve for StreamerBot is going to take you more time. You need to really dedicate a lot of time to getting it. But once you get the hang of it, it's really powerful and gives you so much flexibility. And then that will just unlock your creativity. Like, I can do this now, and this, and this. And
It's kind of like OBS versus that platform we won't mention.
Hey, don't.
I'm kidding.
I specifically said not to start beef, okay?
There's no beef.
But I will mention that for the rest of this panel, we will be talking specifically about the streaming software OBS from the OBS project. If you're using anything else, a lot of this stuff just won't work with it. And if it does, it'll work in limited capacities. And that's just because a lot of it's open source. They can develop for that stuff. Questions, I see. Hold them, because we've got a Q&A section. So keep it in mind, and we'll queue that up for you.
Write
write
them
down
down,
your questions so you don't forget them.
All right, so we'll move on from here.
Fuck Jerry, I'm not helping out.
Oh, shit, sorry.
Hey, JD.
No, okay, here we go. So here's an example of something you can do with some of the filters that we're going to be talking about. This one here is something you've probably all seen from, thanks, Seats, man. Some people like Andy Lippy. If you've ever seen anyone do tutorial stuff, Andy Lippy's great, and he's explained how to do this one in great detail. I've done a little twist on it. It's not any different, really, but it just makes it simpler behind the scenes.
Thank you for the hydrate, Fred.
No worries. There you go.
You started it. That was so perfectly timed.
Yeah.
Drinky.
So here's just some examples of
God
what we do. We're going to have a quick explainer of how we do these things, listing the programs and whatnot. These guys have submitted me some examples of their stuff so that they can explain their cool stuff that they do on stream as well. And once we move past all that, I've got a Q&A section too. Do stick around. I've got you in my sights, all right? Oh my God! Sorry.
Holy.
So, Nick, the
Yes.
Blockcat TTS.
Shall we play the video first and I can go into it?
Yeah, no worries, man.
Don't mind me, I'm just starting up my very old car. It doesn't start, hang on. Okay, you know what, let me test the horn. That was good.
That is probably one of the best things I've ever seen.
One of the best TTSs by far.
Absolutely.
Oh, what's this?
Absolutely.
Oh, hello.
Fall Guys.
Did you see that? 2 for 1.
All All right.
Was that today?
That's why you were filming me today.
You streamed that.
Also that.
I'm pretty sure that's a clip. That's not a
Well, that's
that's
a
not
clip.
footage from outside the booth.
Also I turned around and Fred's like, with the camera, like through the glass.
That's why I hid from him all day.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd pivot on the whole explainer of the Botcat TTS and move specifically about the audio move filter that you use there. So we've got. Oh,
Dude, I'm trying to knock it back in the middle of the table. My hand is like broken.
so obviously there's lots of different ways you can
What's
use
it?
the audio move filter.
When nothing is happening, and that is a kind of position vertically when it's position Y, and position horizontally when it's position X. And the factor is how much you want it to move by when it's affected by the audio. And then you can do this thing called easing, which makes it bounce slower. It doesn't quite reach the top of the factor, and eases between the base point and its highest point.
There you go.
Nice.
It's yeah. It is a filter at its core that, while it's very simple, the more you play around with it, the more options that you tinker with, you can get some really varied and mixed results and a lot of really, really great results as well. And, you know, TTS is something we're all used to, but I wanted to do something different, like basically giving chat not just a voice, but also a presence on screen, which has led to so many different and funny reactions and situations. And then I was like, the PopCat was pretty popular at the time, so I'm like, I'll just make that, I'll just do that. And then that's what it's become, and it's literally 2 images. You've got the image of the cat's mouth closed, and then when the filter detects audio through the TTS, it opens. And it took a lot of tweaking to get it just right, so as the TTS was reading it out, you get that nice snappy, and it's turned out so good. Yeah.
You want to repeat that noise?
What?
You want to repeat that demonstration for us? Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah.
So you can see here, Nick is using a bot that we didn't really mention in the opening bit there. It's a bot called BikuBot. It was developed by one dude, and this development is slow just because he's fallen on some illnesses, and as such, nearly every other one we've mentioned has started to overtake it. If you do want to check it out, he's got a Patreon, and you can support the project, and the program is really, really good, but at the same time, I don't know much about it myself, so I couldn't really speak on it.
It's very user.
It's still in its alpha stages. So while all the other bots are free to use, this one you just got to subscribe to the Patreon because it's in its alpha stage. But once it does hit full release, which will take some time, he's just one guy. The other bots all have like a team of people. Eventually, it will be free to use. But it's really great for someone who wants someone with a bit more UI, something that's a bit simpler to kind of wrap your head around. That's why BikuBot's really great. But when it comes from like a price perspective, you can't really argue with a free bot. But BikuBot seriously is fantastic. And I do recommend checking it out because if you consider that it's worth it, I think you guys will like using it.
It's not just $5 because it's in alpha. It is paid because he includes Amazon Poly TTS. So he's paying the fee up the back end and letting anyone who's using the program access his Amazon Poly login. So that's a pretty good bit of value there. It's less setup for you guys, so it's a pretty good bot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we looking at here?
So this is a breakdown of what it looks like from my perspective.
The top button, if you hold it.
Yeah? Hold it. Oh, this is so cool. I need one at home. So this is basically the breakdown of everything. So essentially, when you redeem the Botcat TTS, the bot pulls your username and writes it to a text file so that it can pull up the name and display it above the cat's head. And then it also will move the cat into the screen. And down here, so this is the Amazon stuff that Fred just mentioned. So SSML, the TLDR, it allows you to make the boring text-to-speech do really wacky random things and sound really silly. And then essentially after the TTS has finished, the bot knows when it's finished and it will move out the cat.
Nick, how does it move out the cat?
So
Which
it
filter
uses
are you using
a
there?
filter, which is a very fantastic filter that I love using called Move Source. And Move Source is great because it's not just for moving objects on screen, but also audio as well, as we talked about, the audio filter. So you can move, the cat will move in through this filter, nice smooth transition, and then the audio filter takes in the audio. Once it hits a certain threshold, we'll start opening the cat's mouth. So it's using a combination of both, and so it's all part of that one filter that you're able to make it happen.
Now that's value.
It is value. It is.
The move transition filter and transition overall is made by a dude named Exceldro, who's a beautiful man. You should definitely Google him. He's contributed to the OBS project backend quite a lot, and you'll find that a lot of stuff that you can download from the OBS project website to include in OBS is made by him. And then you may also find that as you use OBS, the stuff that you used to download will just eventually get included into the software itself. So keep an eye out for him and his name, because nearly everything he makes is excellent.
He's a magician.
Okay, so we've got, speaking of the move transition, we've got our man here. Now, rather than have him explain some pictures, he's got a video prepared for us, so let's have a look at this.
All right, I'm here, but I'm also down there. And the guy down there is going to explain how this guy here does this trick here. Confusing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show it quickly just by pressing play on my function. So I'm going to activate this. And the catapult is going to launch me away.
Beautiful.
Then
And now I'm back. All right, there we go.
For your sake, I cut out the 20-second...
the 20-second wait. Yeah, so this is just a little bit of fun you can have with move transitions. This is an example of using them for anyone who's used editing software as keyframes. So you can use the timing with, I use BQBot as well. I just find it a nice little program. It doesn't have tons of complexity, but for something like this, it's very easy to use. I just use a mix of timing and then keyframing, which I use with the move source, and I will activate the video file, and then after a certain amount of time, it'll activate a move source, which is what makes me small. Then after a little bit of time, I line it up with the catapult launching, and it'll just flick me off screen. Then what I do is I deactivate the camera source while it's off screen. Then I time it to bring it back underneath, and I bring up the text file, which shows building new streamer because the old one sucked. And then after a while, brings that down and brings me back up. It's just a nice example of how you can use the timing on these bots along with move sources to create something funny and pretty easy to build. Like that took me about an hour and a half.
Now, are you using a bot to trigger these sources, or are you using just the flow-on effect of the filter?
Just using the flow-on effect of the filter, straight up. It's
So the filter's triggering another filter move
yeah,
at the end of it?
so what I'll do is I'll set the filter source to trigger one after another after a certain amount of time. So with the move source, you can actually set delays at the end of each move, and I'll set it to wait at the time that I need it to, and then it'll trigger the next one, and then I'll get it to pause, and I'll get it to do something else, and after a while, it all just flows entirely on itself. You can build it to just run itself. And I get my chat can activate that by tying it to channel points, and yeah.
So the move filter, as you can see, pretty powerful. I've been spending a bit of time with it myself, and I think this is honestly one of my favorite things I've ever done, and it was a hell of a lot of work. It's got about 45, 50 move filter type things going on, and just like Papi said, most of them are actually triggered by themselves. So you can ask it to wait for a moment, wait for a moment, spend a bit of time doing something, waiting a little while after, and then you can ask it to do something else after, like say, trigger the next filter, or move a source from the back to the front. It's pretty powerful. It's I love it. And I think this example here, it's got no sound, so I'll walk you through it. Basically, I have a redemption that allows people to challenge each other.
This is seriously amazing. I watched Fred build this.
In a cowboy duel, and if one of them is challenged and they accept, we start building the scene in. Now, none of this is a video. Literally, none of these are videos. These are all images that we're using the move filter on. And we're also using another filter I'll explain in a bit. We then wait to see if anyone shoots first, and if they do, then they shoot themselves in the foot. But the moment this thing says draw, and the first person who says shoot in the chat wins. Twitch latency has made a few contentious battles. Hey. But
What happens to the loser?
the loser gets timed out for a minute.
Which is a lot of fun to challenge people that have just come in and raided Fred, and you challenge them and then immediately time them out.
And you can see also, moves the camera away, and then after we're done, moves the camera back to where it was. It's a little bit of trickery, but also if you shoot yourself in the foot, you get timed up for 2 minutes because you're a fool. You should have waited. What the hell? And I've also got another one. This one's using Stream Effects. This is the filter that I said I'd mention later. This is Stream Effects is one of the most powerful filters aside from the move transition, because it can manipulate anything on screen in 3 dimensions, and that's tilt, pan, rotate, yaw, and you can even do stuff like what they call corner pin, and corner pin is what I've used here. I'll walk you through it quickly. Basically, if someone raids me, I've got a set of different raids.
We're raiding into Fred, eh? Well, guess what? It's a reverse Fred raid.
And you can
I wasn't prepared for him to film this, by the way.
You can see what we've done here is I've taken a screenshot, and then I put that screenshot into 4 layers, cropped them all so that they all showed the 4 different quarters of the screen, and then used the corner pin to pull all of those images away as if it were bursting out. That's all triggered again by the move filter as well. We basically asked the move filter to tell the Stream Effects filter to move a slider from one place to the other. And that's one of my favorite things about the move transition filter. It's not just moving sources around a screen or moving things with audio, which are both awesome. You can just tell it to manipulate other filters depending on the timing and whatever. It's honestly super powerful, and if you're not checking it out, you're doing yourself a disservice. Check it out. Go home now. Not right now. Later. All right?
Fred's telling you to leave.
It does seem super complicated, but the more you play with it, again,
All right. I'm here. The guy down there is going.
That was good timing, huh?
Oh my god.
Shit.
It does seem super complicated, but again, once you play around with it for a while, you can really think of ideas and just create them off of manipulating sources and filters and having some fun with it. And that's the main thing. It's like, think of an idea, think of how you can create it, and really have some fun with it.
The screenshot into a Polaroid redemption that we showed you before, that's, again, Andy Lippy has an amazing tutorial on it, and it's so great for what we're talking about because it does screenshots, it does move filter, and it does Stream Effects explainers all the way through it, and it's about 15 minutes, and in 15 minutes, following along, maybe 30 if you're like clunky, that's fine, I'm not going to judge you. You'll have an awesome redemption which you can trigger up for your stream, and B, a hell of a lot more knowledge about both these filters. So,
Yeah.
Suck an oyster down, dude.
You
Really
can
going hard on you tonight, isn't he?
Pretty easy.
So you saw the cowboy dual redeem before. You can see here that those things we got there are just images. So we've got like they got the tumbleweed that goes past, the right building, left building, and all that stuff that drops in. None of that's videos, it's all just images. And then we use the move filter to have I got a, yeah, here we go. Use the move filter to just trigger each other thing one after the other. And you can see them, when I click on them, they start cascading down. And I click on the other one, they all fire at once. And it's just one click. And the tumbleweed I fumble around with a little bit here because I forgot where I put it, but that also is not a video. It is moving and rotating and whatnot all by itself. Yeah.
Again, thinking of them, again, if you've used editing software, think of it like keyframing, because it really is just, it does all the work for you.
And while we are showing like a lot of weird and wacky stuff, at its core, like all the different plugins and filters and the bots we're talking about, at the end of the day, it's just automating. You can have the ability to automate a lot of stuff and just make your life a lot easier while you're live. Because the less you have to worry about while you're live, the more that you can actually focus on creating content and entertaining. So, yeah.
Why is that going again? Oh, no, that's right. What's this one? Yeah, so this is a peek behind the cowboy duel. I won't explain it all, but basically everything that's going on here is
What do you mean? It looks really simple, Fred.
Yeah, could you just run this through one sec?
Okay, no worries. So what we do first is we have a currency where we award people, like because the bot has currency, award people an item, which is a gun, but to make sure no one else has one in the chat, we remove everyone else's guns first. And then we save all of their names and their profile pictures. I won't bother going through it. But each one of these things, this is Mix It Up, by the way, that you're looking at. Mix It Up here can... Mix Up here can trigger multiple different actions at the same time. So while the first thing gets started, I'm actually running 3 or 4 other things at the same time from this first action, sorry. And then once it's all said and done and someone's accepted it, we start like moving the camera around and all this other stuff, yeah. So all that stuff you saw on screen there, that's about, I think in total it's about 100 and something actions, but that's because I'm doing weird behind the scenes stuff. But you saw how easy the move filter was to get done what you wanted done. We're at $13,000 for generosity.
Let's go.
Amazing. Awesome.
And that's just today.
That's just today.
That's just today. Thanks to everybody who's been donating to generosity. I'm going to take this moment now. Fred mentioned any $200 donation.
No, $250.
Is it $250? Okay, I'm sorry, I misspoke. $250.
Don't shortchange this man.
Yeah, I know, right? The the super hot chips over there, we will be taking a bite of these hot chips.
I'm going to eat one.
He's going to eat a whole one.
He's a lunatic.
He's going to eat a whole one. We're just going to take little bites.
I haven't roped them into it. He's saying this on his own accord. I said that I'd eat a chip. You don't have to eat one?
No, I'll eat one.
No, sorry.
He said he'd eat one.
I bullied them backstage to join.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll eat 2.
We can't back out now. You've thrown us into it.
Yeah.
I gave you an out.
Thanks, dude.
So yeah, anyone, $250 going towards charity for it's Cure Cancer Australia. Fred will eat a hot chip, and the rest of us will have a portion of a hot chip.
Sounds
Yep.
good.
Pretty good deal.
That's a deal.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
a
I'll
deal.
chip too.
Okay, so I was saying before about the screen tearing away. This is pretty simple. That's how simple it is to trigger one of the tears. Right? And then we just do that 4 times. Easy as. And trigger them all at once. It's great. That was meant to be the intro, okay. This here is a reverse raid. So when we do the reverse raid, we're not just triggering the screen tears, we're also doing a whole bunch of other stuff. One of the things is spamming the chat. I've found a way to do this thing way easier now, so please ignore this. But, like when you raid someone, everyone puts in their raid message. Well, I've got my own for when people raid me. No. Okay.
Shit.
Liam, did you want to talk about the fake Liam redemption.
Yeah, thank you, Fred. So this whole fake Liam
Just
redemption.
Go back a slide so you can show it. It's the bottom one.
The
there.
bottom one?
Yeah. So go back, and again, and then forward. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so this whole fake Liam was born of a necessity where Fred and I were playing games together, and we wanted to have like a persona on each other's stream when the other person was talking.
I'll hold you up there. Actually, what happened was he was doing like a subathon fundraiser, and he was streaming from outside, but I had remote connection to his computer.
There it is.
Can
you
you guys
serious?
not?
That did not take long. That did not take long at all.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Thanks for waiting before my segment to speak, so everybody else got a really good chance to talk.
Perfect. This is why we have the extra water, which won't help.
It's gas.
Yeah,
So,
again.
okay, for everybody that doesn't know, we're not allowed to do shots of hot sauce on generosity because last time, Fred nearly died.
I didn't nearly die. I was just very sick.
They cut the stream. They cut the stream, and Fred was on stream begging for the next segment to go on.
I was
Cut it
fine.
in half.
Walk it off.
I'm still here.
There you go.
All right.
All right. To charity.
Yeah, fuck cancer.
Fuck
everyone.
cancer.
Fuck cancer.
Oh, that sucks. Already.
Oh, boy.
I'm fine with spicy things, but it's just hot.
Oh, that sucks.
It never gets easier.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm the spicy boy. Yeah.
Did I get the lame one?
What?
Did I get the lame one? Did I give you the hottest part of the chip?
If
I think
you
I did.
I hate you.
Not intentional. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Uh-huh.
I can feel it, but I think he got the most of it.
I'll have another one in a bit when this wears off. I'll have
This is
another
every
one.
second day for me.
Okay.
I thought this was the one chip
That's
challenge. This
that's
is
hot.
Hot, but it ain't the one chip challenge.
Okay.
Right.
So
Fake Liam, he wasn't at his computer. I decided to remote into it
Okay, gets
because he
worse.
was on an exercise bike. He was on an exercise bike out the back of his house, and his head wasn't on the screen while he was talking to everyone. And I thought, how funny would it be if instead there was his head on the screen? And so I got a picture of a picture of his head basically, and then I cut out the jaw. And I used the two pictures on top of each other and started moving one on the audio.
It wasn't
move
just
filter.
cutting out the jaw, though. Has everybody seen South Park with the Canadian characters? He basically did that inverse. So instead of the head moving, the jaw moved.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And this is an iteration that has occurred since then.
yeah.
Now, what it is it's a few different scenes. Sorry, a few different sources within scenes, and uses something called nesting scenes. And as you can see here, you've got a couple of different ones. There's some cursed ones in there. The Furby is terrifying. And the one that we're going to be looking at is the Liam mouth bobble. Now, that's the bobble head. And moving on to the next. What is this?
Exhausted from crawling on the fucking ground.
Is that
Ignore that one.
okay? And this is okay. So this is a collection of them. The first one you've already seen, which is the bobblehead, and that moves like that. And I've selected these three because they're kind of three different examples of how it works. Then you've got the buzzed lit ear, as we call it, and then the space Liam.
Is it still burning for you?
It's still burning.
Yeah, it can.
It's still going. It doesn't stop.
It comes back around.
What?
So that's your space. Liam.
Yeah. Did that not play?
Oh, I didn't know. I couldn't tell.
Have you lost eyesight?
Maybe.
Spaced out.
Space. Get out. Get off the stage.
Okay, Mr. Portion of chip.
Okay. So. Oh my God. It gets so much worse. I'm trying. All right. So the audio move. So we're using something like it's an audio move. which is similar to the bop cap, and it's using a transform, and it's moving the mouth in a Y value, up and down, right? And that's your standard one. It moves the mouth up and down based on the input that comes in through the microphone. Now, the fake Liam Bobble uses something a little bit different. So it still uses the move transition.
It's using the move transition, audio move filter, far out.
Yeah.
It's using the audio move filter, and we're still moving the head up and down.
Correct.
But then, in order to make it a bobble head, I added an extra filter on just that source.
So it uses the audio move transition, audio move filter, sorry. It's really hard to think with this spice. The audio move transform, but then additionally, like Fred said, it uses a rotation. So it moves around. And depending on how loud I laugh, it can sometimes go all the way around, like full Exorcist spec. It's terrifying.
I don't know what this is. All right. It's Gloop.
It's Gloop, everyone. No, you can't read that.
What have you put in this?
Once again, left my
What
voice.
is-
I can't find my headphones. Why can't I find them?
I think it's just going through a folder of clips, sorry.
This is why you don't leave him unsupervised.
We've left Fred in the green room unsupervised all day, and that was a mistake. So that's to call back on that. You can use multiple different move filters to create an effect. So like you can start to stack things, and all of these work really well in collaboration with each other. And like I said, with the space fake Liam, you can have multiple layers to make it look like, for example, they're wearing a helmet or whatever below things. And then so like the rotation as well. So sorry, it's really hard to think. After that sucked.
Yeah. So we'll just quickly touch on how we use OBS, because the way we use OBS is a little bit different from a lot of people. A lot of people, when they use OBS, they look at the program and they see on one side they've got the scenes, which is where you'd put a collection of sources normally, right? And your scene, you'd normally be like, oh, this is my just chatting scene where I've got the chat on the right-hand side and I've got this stuff there. And then they'll make a new scene, and then they'll put all that stuff back in this next scene. Where one of the things we like to do is, far out, where are we? Where is it? There it is!
Nested scenes.
We use nested scenes. So you can put collections of sources together in a scene, and then instead of having multiple different scenes, you can just move stuff. Oh, it's so hard to think right now. I had a whole thing. I had a whole thing going.
This is rough. Like nested scenes.
Use it instead of
TLDR,
groups.
TLDR, it's Inception, the movie. It
Scenes
goes
within scenes.
Within.
Everyone's seen Blade Runner, right? Scenes within scenes.
So
Interlinked.
It's an unfortunate part of OBS where we try and explain this. It doesn't make any goddamn sense, because this is where OBS's naming conventions fall apart.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's really good. Adding a scene as a source to another scene.
So basically, it's
man.
like putting an image in there, but it pulls everything that's in that other scene into the scene that you put it in. And you can do that effectively infinitely, depending on the power of your PC.
Why is this good? Because any changes you make to that scene
It'll affect all scenes that
will
it's in.
affect all scenes that it's in. So rather than making a scene with a collection of sources that are grouped together and then making a whole new one, you can just make a collection of sources in a scene and then import that one scene to different ones in order for the little effects you do to one of those scenes apply to anything else that you're in. It's great.
He got through it. He did it. He did it. Come on. Hey, there we go. There we go.
Now,
another-
they waited right until it just had faded. It just subsided.
Whoever timed that, perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, is that another one?
Who's keyframing this?
Pardon me.
Are you guys going to?
Yeah, well, it's for charity.
Come on. Oh, that's half a chip. Yeah, that'll be Liam's.
No, that's Nick's.
That's both of
Nick's.
ours.
No, that's yours.
I need a little. Oh God, I'm bringing the whole bag.
Suffering.
Oh, man.
Dude, I'm shaking at the thought of this.
Thank you for your generosity.
Thank you for your generosity.
Thank you
Where's the
so
fucking
much.
chip?
Oh, we're at Leet, everyone.
Leet?
Yeah, it's Leet.
That's the goal.
That's the goal, Fred.
Yeah, we beat it. Yeah, we beat the goal.
Oh, we beat it. We beat the goal.
Hey! Have you eaten your chip already? Oh shit. Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Another
Hot
quick
cancer.
thing about nested scenes as well. If you've ever had channel redeems that you wanted to trigger on multiple scenes and you're trying to work out how you can get it to trigger on multiple scenes, that's the easiest way. Is like
I breathed out through my nose.
nest your alerts into a scene, nest your memes into a scene, and then put those onto every scene that you want them in. It's a simple way to get it to play everywhere. You guys are struggling with this, huh?
I breathed out through my nose while I had the chip in my mouth.
This is nothing.
Drop shadows.
I'll eat the rest of the box.
Where are we?
We'll go back on drop shadows.
I regret what I said.
I thought
you said you'd eat the whole
$250 was a
packet.
lot. Who's the deep pocket Mr.
Jeez,
Moneybags
you thought
out there?
250 was a lot? Have you streamed? They're nutty.
I'm
If you're
small.
inflicting pain on yourself, they'll do it.
Underestimate people.
You guys don't have to do.
We have challenge. No, we have to.
Hey, one for all, man. Come on.
All for one or one for all. Are you gonna bow out?
Dude, we only just cleared the last
He's
one.
doing another.
I can't feel my mouth
So
anymore.
quickly, drop shadows. If you've ever seen a drop shadow on a stream, it's usually done one or two ways. One's with a
Hello.
shader filter or a drop shadow filter. Screw that. Do it the other way, where you just make a clone.
Quickly. TGY and Greybeard, thank you very much. Hunchy, I know who you are. All right. I know what
We
you've done.
know you. We know
Thank you very much.
Yeah, do it the other way, which I'll show you in a minute. Where you just make a copy of the same source. You can use another plugin we use called Source Mirror if you want. Don't worry about it for now. Just make a copy of the same source, like say your camera, for example, if you're in front of a green screen. Copy of the same source, put it behind, offset it a bit, and then use a color correction filter to make it black. Bam, you've got a shadow. It's amazing. It follows you. Oh, God.
This sucks. This
Also-
is so bad.
Also, a lot of you have probably seen the OBS.live, which is from Stream Elements, the Stream Elements package version of OBS. Don't worry about that and the custom docs it comes with. You can just put them in yourself. If you look through the menus, you can actually add web pages to your OBS instance. Like, for example, your Twitch chat, or maybe if you use Stream Elements, you can get your activity feed in there, and then you don't have to download any other weird software that gets updated way later than the regular OBS.
A fun little way I use it is we all know how annoying ads are on Twitch. They're really annoying. What you can do is you can add a timer to know when your ads are going to play, and you can warn people, give them a break. Give them a break and give people a chance to prepare.
I mean, if we hit 14 grand, that'd be great, but please, go easy on us. Hey, plugins. Plugins are great. Plugins are awesome, and in OBS, 99% of them are free. My tongue.
Plugins are top.
OBSproject.com. OBSproject.com. If you're looking for any of this stuff, OBSproject.com, go to the resources section in the forum, and there's a list. A top 50 list of the best stuff you can download. Oh, man.
Yes.
He's crying.
I'm crying on the inside.
I feel like a bee stung my mouth.
My ears hurt.
Oh, here's one
Yeah,
you wanted
actually,
to touch on, Nick. You're sweating. You're glistening.
No, that's just the water splashback.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure? Yep.
Transition table. You.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Yep. Hang on. Okay, so the transition table is really great. So commonly, as you know, if you've used OBS, when you can pick one transition, which is just for everything. This allows you to set specific transitions to specific scenes and back and forth. Sorry. These chips suck. So it's really, really great. This is one of those plugins that gives you greater control over basically how you want to present your stream. So if you want a transition to your just chatting scene to be a certain, fade, but then when you want to go back to gameplay, you just want a quick cut that kind of thing. It gives that finer control.
Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of other stuff going on. Okay, so
Pardon me, sorry. I thought I moved the mic far enough away.
we'll take a few questions in a second. Oh, far out. Foie gras.
Yeah? Before we go into Q&A, I'm going to quickly ask this question to get rid of this. Sorry. Thank you. I'm going to quickly ask this question, so see who was paying attention. Now, the Liam, fake Liam bobblehead uses two things. What are those two things to make it work? If you remember, it is what we've been talking about a lot in regards to a filter, and then a particular part of that filter to make it look like a bobblehead. Well, I see a couple hands up. Who was up first?
I think this guy.
This gentleman here was up first. We'll deal with that in just 1 second, please.
Who's
1
doing
second.
it?
We're trying to give away free stuff. Free stuff. Free stuff.
Free stuff.
Hey! Yeah. And then we'll eat a chip.
This gentleman. That is it. That is perfect.
Right. You did well at school, didn't you?
Thank you to Plantronics for that.
Yeah, to 14,000. 14,000, guys. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
You're right, mate.
He's dying.
I keep looking at that, anxious, like, oh, is it going to go up again?
Do another one, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll quickly go over something here. I'll eat a chip before I do so, all right? I'm going to give you a bit of backstory.
Has Puppy had a chip?
Oh, thanks for remembering me.
It's like the chip doesn't burn anymore because my mouth is already on fire.
It doesn't really work like that. It will just keep burning.
It's going to stop. No, when does it stop?
Does anybody have a tissue? Seriously, I need to blow my nose. I'm suffering. That's all right. I'll find one in the green room. I'll just suffer.
Tissues.
Tissues?
Covered in clutch.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Fuck.
That was a terrible throw, but thank you.
Hey! All right, backstory in OBS. OBS was born of necessity. I'm not going to make it any grander than it already is. So the guy who made it, he was streaming StarCraft, or he was playing StarCraft, he wanted to stream it to his friends, so he made software. What the hell? Just who does that? And then he made it open source.
Oh, God.
Please.
Who is doing it?
Dude, my nose is on fire.
We barely cleared the last
We're
one.
working our way through this whole packet.
Don't say that.
There's
I've had
not many
some
left.
salsa to go with it.
Oh, this is the last one? Oh, no.
Is it actually?
No.
I actually got excited.
Oh, God.
Oh my god. Give us
This
a damn
is-
chip.
This is Alpha 0.6. It's super bare bones, but you can see the beginnings of... Sorry, I'm eating while I talk. I don't
I'm
wanna eat.
a Twitch grandpa. This is what OBS looked like when I started using it.
Yeah, when I started using it, I was working for an internet radio station. We streamed 24/7. Music, DJs playing every 2 hours, and this is a software we had to bring them to the people. Eventually, this is actually the real program, it's not a picture. You can see settings menu here. I almost forgot about this. So you can see here, the settings menu, this is the encoding menu. You guys use OBS? Yeah, a few hands who've used OBS, yeah. Okay, so you've seen the encoding menu, right? The kilobits per second, whatever. I opened this up and I was like, oh, I'll put in like just some standard encoding settings. And I went to broadcast settings, and you can see here, it says, warning, your OBS settings are not optimized for use with Twitch. please set the following encoding settings. Reduce your maximum bitrate to 3500. We've come a long way. The internet itself.
What is that? Streaming in 420p or something?
No, man, I don't know.
That was my first 3 years streaming at 360p, nice and crisp. Yeah.
Thank you, Australian internet. Let's go.
Very crunchy.
Oh, man.
Dude, this sucks. I feel like someone stuck a hot poker up my nose.
Okay, so now I decided I'd go through and download some older versions and whatnot. Well, I opened up 0.14, a few iterations after 0.6, and I thought that it would be like a little bit further along, right? Thinking like, you know, it'd be cool to show a little bit of a step between then and now. But, and this is struggling at the moment because of this, when I opened...
Oh, dude, no way.
Don't touch your eyes.
I'm not.
I nearly did.
That would end badly.
So I'm shaking. We need to get to the Q&A, I think.
Yeah, no worries. When I opened it, this is the last one I'll show you. When I opened it, amazingly enough, it loaded...
No. Is that two?
Punchy, you son of a bitch.
Thank you,
The
but
worst,
also fuck you.
the worst part, there is milk in the green room, but it's been sitting out of a fridge for like, I don't know, an hour.
We didn't eat this much hot stuff on our hot takes panel.
Did you take our water?
Jesus.
No, yes, there's a second bottle. Can we pass that big bottle over here for Puppy?
Yeah,
Went through yours. Get out of here.
Anyways, just wanted to mention that like 0.14 loaded up all of my stuff from OBS 28. Amazing, right? That's how robust the software's been, even though we've had our troubles with it in the past, so I'm sure everyone's encountered a few crashes. The fact that 0.14 is opening an OBS 28 scene collection is seriously impressive. Anyways, Q&A, what's up? Who's got questions?
Questions.
Can we answer it? I don't know. I need
Can we even answer them?
It's getting worse. It just keeps getting worse.
It is.
We have to have two.
I know, I've got to.
Yeah, do we have? Okay, yes. So raise your hands nice and high. We have a lovely helper who will come around with a microphone.
There's a question right there.
Right in the middle. There.
This guy with the beard, let's go.
I haven't had my two. You want to bring them down? I haven't had my two if you want to pass them down.
So
It's fuck.
you were listing different chatbots, and someone mentioned another platform. Now, I use OBS, but I use that platform's chatbot. Is there a reason other than
Is
the
it
controversy going on?
You say you use their chat?
Is
Their
it Streamlabs?
chatbot?
Their chatbot? Their chatbot is fine.
Yeah.
I've got no beef with the chatbot itself because it's just a program and it hasn't done anything wrong.
Yeah.
But
Unlike the platform
When it
itself,
when it
yeah.
does, we'll fight it.
but
It's probably mimicking some other company that also has a really good chatbot too. Yeah.
yeah. So there are other alternatives which are better, and you can use them to a greater extent to do way more stuff than their chatbot does. Also, just as touch on it, the other company I won't mention, when OBS was getting up and running, they decided to fork the open source software, which is totally cool. But then they decided to do stuff like do their search engine optimization to make it so when you search OBS, they appeared above them.
God, no way. I hope it right. Yeah, get those two first, and if it comes back empty, so be it.
So they appeared above them, and then they started buying ads to appear above them again. Is it again? No, come on. Was that a second one?
No.
No.
Thank you.
Do we have, like, I feel like we just need to bore these out.
It's at the dust part.
Oh, don't breathe in the bag.
Yeah, no, I made that mistake, dude.
Don't do it.
It's
Yeah, anyways, so we moved on from them. And you can find better stuff across the horizon. It's great. and free yourself of the shackles. Another question.
Yeah, next question.
Oh, sorry, Fred. Question for Puppy. You said earlier with the catapult and you were tweening off the screen, and then you said you deactivated the camera source.
Yep.
Is that just because the tween that you used afterwards would have taken the camera back across the canvas?
Yep, 100%.
Okay, cool.
So just to hide it, I mean, you could do that in 2 steps where it drags it down and right, but why do that when you can just turn it off and swing it down?
If you want a shortcut, you can also move stuff across the scene in 10 milliseconds, which is faster than a frame.
Yep.
So if you don't have to turn stuff off, but sometimes if it makes sense to you to work it like that, and it makes it easier for you to diagnose a problem when it arises,
yep,
then do that. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just do how you feel.
There's only the option that works. Whatever works, that's the way you go about it. So yeah, you could do it in 2 steps. You could do it really fast, or you could just hide it and move it.
I'm shaking.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
The floor is open, everyone.
Anyone?
Any questions?
Any questions?
Would you like to know how to make a good bolognese?
G'day, boys. How you doing?
Hey.
Hello.
Yeah, look like you're in a bit of pain, but I got a question.
Oh, we're just fine.
Sure. But I was wondering, with a lot of the keyframing animations you were doing through OBS, as somebody who wants to sort of start to get into a lot of the keyframes through OBS, is it best to sort of just go all in and just make as much as you can, or just slowly go like bit by bit?
Just learn, trial, and like as you start to make stuff, you'll start to work out how to make better stuff, and you'll start to work how that initial stuff that you made can be repurposed and reused in other things, and then those things that you start to make will become grander and grander. So just go all in.
Straight up, when you go home, grab your camera source, get the move source, and just play with it. Move it around the screen, see what you can do with it. Just work out how it works, see how much flexibility it has, and just move it around your screen as much as you can. You let it chain, just see what you can do, and you'll slowly understand how that works, and you'll see what I mean by keyframing, and you'll see how OBS is like seriously amazing.
Yeah.
The smoothness of its like transitions is just awesome. It'll do a lot of the work for you.
Again, that Andy Lippy tutorial I mentioned about the Polaroid photo. Sorry? I'm trying. The Andy Lippy tutorial about the photo teaches you more than enough that you need to know to get started. So once you do that, then you can just dive in a deep end and make some stupid, complicated bullshit thing which amuses mostly you, as mostly I do for myself,
Yeah, we all started making off simple stuff, and then as you go, you're like, oh, I'm going to try doing this.
You are the...
Do you know what? It's 10 p.m. It's past the end of our panel.
Cop out, let him do it.
My mouth is still on fire.
Was that you?
It's only $25. Sucked in.
But 15 grand for generosity. Let's get a hand.
Amazing.
Before I eat this, I just want to read the back of this to you. It says, do not consume.
Point to the camera and...
Do not consume on an empty stomach if you have gastrointestinal problems, if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Luckily, that's none of us. If you are allergic to chili or capsaicin, if you are sensitive to spicy foods, if you have any other medical conditions, anything, like asthma, for example.
I'm literally crying, dude.
What was that? Cop out? That's what we were
I'm
saying?
crying right now. You have no idea.
Or if you have a cardiac condition.
Oh, yeah. Don't do that.
Those rules went out the window.
If we any other questions, that's it. We're at time. Awesome. Last one. Just one. Quick, run, Callan, run. Run. Mike. Try talking into
Just
it.
yell really loud.
I'm not doing that.
There we go.
Hey.
Okay. Do any of you have any tutorials on StreamerBot? Because I'm probably, I don't know, 30%. Rusty.
I am going to get into StreamerBot next year. At the moment, I'm learning to do something. A friend of mine has a friend who is now my friend. So if we've heard of JDude TV,
That was very clear. Thank you, Fred.
JDude TV. If anyone's heard of him or seen his stuff, he is incredible, and it's all powered by a code library called Scenify, which is made by Brendonovich on Twitch. And basically, it is its own code library which can control OBS from the back end and allow it to do things like, I don't know, have a physics engine so you can just move shit around the screen with forces.
And a shameless plug for Fred. Every Monday, Fred does live stream works. So live back-end work on his stream, dealing with all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And that's like not paywalled or anything like that. That's every Monday you can jump onto his stream and see him work on stuff live and answer questions.
Yeah, if you've got any questions there, I'll answer them. And I'm also slowly moving that, uploading all the VODs to YouTube so you can watch them there later.
Yeah, in terms of tutorials, like I'm also planning to do some in BQBot and mix it up, basically going into the stuff that I've made and giving a step-by-step, and eventually a bit more on the bots as well.
Damn bag shot.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, guys.
You're all incredible. Thank you so much for the donations, but also, whatever. And hopefully,
we hope you learned something.
Hopefully you learned something.
We have spurred some creativity. I've been Nicktacula. This has been Late Night Liam, Fred McKay, and Puppy Eric. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
Thank you for being here.
Kill the lights before they donate again, please.
We're going to go pass out the green room.
Thank you very much, guys.